obscure, life-changing, bitterly controversial scientific field of ours. We want to know how Ben is fighting back against the lies being spread once again about the discoveries we've made, discoveries which affect all life on Earth. Ben is one of the founding members of our group, which was established in 1995. He has made a string of groundbreaking discoveries, including detecting the fingerprints of human activity in atmospheric temperatures, water vapour, and ocean heat content. But today he is feeling too stressed to travel the 40 or so miles from his office at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory to join us in person. Instead, he is presenting his talk remotely, his voice coming to us like a pained but determined spirit from speakers hidden in the ceiling. Ben knows how strong the evidence is for human-induced climate change. Over more than 2 decades, he has gone out of his way to explain to government officials, politicians, and the media why we know that greenhouse gas emissions have caused global warming and why it matters. For his trouble, he has been accused of fraud, threatened with the sack, and charged with betraying his fellow citizens. He's been through tough times before, but now, after all this time, and as the consequences of further delay in tackling the climate crisis become ever more stark, it feels like this latest attack by the man in charge of his country's environmental protection is the worst of all. Calmly, but with restrained fury, Ben tells us how he has gone about assessing Pruitt's claim that, over the last 2 decades, atmospheric temperatures measured from satellites have not increased. It fits the bill, Ben explains, for what is known in science as a testable hypothesis. It doesn't go against the scientific grain to make a supposition, no matter how outlandish. But for a supposition to have any validity as a scientific hypothesis, it must stand up to testing against observed reality. Although it's a test that Pruitt has no interest in carrying out, Ben has gone to the trouble of doing so himself. Our colleague has calculated warming trends from all of the different satellite datasets available and worked out if any of them have dropped below levels that could be explained by natural variations in climate. The results are quite clear. They haven't. In fact, Ben has shown that the chance of Pruitt's supposition being correct is vanishingly small. The well-established reality of global warming being a hoax is as unlikely as the experimentalists at CERN having made a mistake in detecting the Higgs boson. It's an analysis that Ben plans to publish in an academic journal. It won't change Pruitt's mind, but it is important to set it down, for the record. What more can we do, I ask Ben after he has finished speaking, to get our message across? It is easy to make these misleading claims again and again, is Ben's answer. We have to keep countering them, even if it's a slow process which gets much less attention than the original falsehoods. I can see his point. It's frustrating, but as scientists who care about our findings being taken seriously, it has to be done. And yet, it doesn't seem like enough. Rebuttals like Ben's reach only a small audience who have access to the relevant technical papers. A wider public, unversed in the details, can hear only claim and counterclaim, a false balance that can lead to too many people thinking too much is uncertain. The strength of evidence built up over years that points towards human, not natural causes for global warming gets lost. It's a point that the forces of climate change denial know only too well. People like Pruitt, supported by a rump of pseudo-scientific so-called climate skeptics, have weaponized doubt in the service of the fossil fuel industry. To preserve business-as-usual profits for as long as possible, their aim has been to promote delay in tackling this most urgent of global issues. For a scientist who helped uncover that evidence and knows the terrible risks further emissions of greenhouse gases will bring, it is disheartening. Like Ben, I have been working in this field for over 2 decades, developing the understanding of climate change, explaining my findings, and setting out what needs to be done to avoid the worst impacts of climate change. Like him, I have had